How did this happen? And then they go down. What does nepotism, golfing, and strategic planning have to do with each other? It's the newest movie, Send Help, featuring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. First, going into that movie, I was expecting it to be a show and tell. You know, you show and tell everything. They do that in a lot of these movies nowadays, and you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you showing me everything? Why am I about to spend $20 to $15 at a theater trying to watch a movie that you didn't told me everything about it? So I kind of avoid a lot of movies nowadays. Y'all feel me? Like, who's about to spend that much money? But enough of that talk. Send Help is a movie that has to do with Linda Little. Linda Little is amazing. She is a strategic planner. She works for a company, and that's when the nepotism kind of kicks in. She's worked for this company for 11 plus years, and the Chads come in. There's this guy named Donovan who essentially is a dick, and the main star, Dylan O'Brien, who happens to be from Teen Wolf. And you know, Rachel McAdams is a very, very beautiful woman. So to see her portray Linda Little and to see the vulnerability of her not wearing makeup, cracked lips, all of those different things, it kind of shocked me and took me back. I'm like, okay, dang, like, as the movie progressed, you kind of see Rachel McAdams a little bit more, not Linda Little. You see that Regina George come out, but we'll get into that, you know? I kind of want to start off without giving you guys anything that you haven't seen in the trailer. The movie takes place in our world, cell phones, technology, what have you. You saw the trailer. You saw that this happened. And then they go down. There's an island. They wake up. The craziest part is, she has survival skills. She being Linda. Linda ain't one to play with. Not only does she have survival skills, she's kind of goated. I kind of have this nasty habit of kind of spoiling everything for everyone. So this is your only warning. Spoiler reviews fully. I'm giving you my full opinion. I'm going to tell you bit by bit exactly what happened. The movie starts off, she essentially is trying to present this report. And there's this guy named Donovan, again, the Chad. He's essentially like, oh, no. Thanks for doing all the hard work, but I got it. I got it from now. He takes her name off of it, throws her name in the trash, and is like, oh, and is laughing up. She goes home. She has a pet bird, telling the bird different things like, oh, you know, tomorrow's going to be the day. Well, here comes Bradley Preston, a.k.a. Dylan O'Brien. And he a jerk. He is essentially like nepotism at its finest. He got the company because his dad died. And voila, magic. I mean, who wouldn't like that? I mean, millions and billions. But there are a lot of quotable quotes in the movie. We'll get to those in a few. But one of the things I actually loved about this movie more than anything was that it flipped the patriarchy on its head. So in the corporate world, Dylan O'Brien's character, Bradley Preston literally ran it. Like, he ran everything. He was in this place, and there were a lot of quotes that he said that kind of resonated with me, like, how far are you willing to go to do this job? And that was a callback later on in the movie where Linda uses that on him. Like, how far are you willing to go on the island, of course. So basically, Linda was promised a promotion by his dad. Bradley comes through and is like, you're not getting the promotion. I'm giving it to Don. Linda finds this out by the secretary who sits behind her, and she's like, wait, I can't wait, I'm gonna get this promotion. It's like, oh no, you're not getting this promotion. Don's getting this promotion. Bruh, Linda was pissed. She stormed into that man's office. When she gets into the office, there's this blonde woman there. The blonde woman is sitting like, having the conversation. He's like, oh, I'm having a meeting. She's like, I need to talk to you right now. Like, Rachel McAdams has never played, at least from the movies I've seen her in, anything where she is not in control. She is in control in every facet. I mean, think about Regina George. Think about her even as Christine in freaking Multiverse of Madness. She broke up with Stephen Strange because Stephen Strange did not want to listen to her. It's like, you always want to hold the knife. So, you know, she broke up with him and married another guy who's a fan of Doctor Strange. But neither way, neither here nor there. When I tell you that, it literally had me going that he basically wants her to do all the work and nothing happens. Well, la-di-da. He basically tells her like, okay, if you can prove yourself as we go to this acquisition overseas, got you. Boom, plane crash happens. There's a lot of gore and a lot of crazy things happen, but on the plane, she's working on a presentation and Don, the dick, all of a sudden plays this video of her from Survivor, auditioning for Survivor. Throughout her home, she had a whole bunch of survival books and so on and so forth. Obviously, on a deserted island, it comes in handy. And guess what? They crash. Only people that are alive is Brad and her. She nurtures him back to health, takes care of him. He kind of gets angry, has a little adult temper tantrum, a little baby temper tantrum, like, you know how, and she over there making set shelters and everything and doing all these things. Throughout this whole movie, there are a lot of, I'm one-upping you, I'm better, and you can kind of see Bradley change a little bit, but then he regresses, and changes a little bit, and then he regresses again, and then changes a little bit more, and then he regresses again. There's this one scene that had me on the floor where he tries to poison her and tries to get off of the island like Castaway, and no BS. He's like, he poisoned her with the berries that she taught him how to like be good with. And I'm like, what the freak? Like, and she over here like on the side of the, like so on and so forth. Bruh, not only does the raft get destroyed, but the way he come in, it's like a tsunami and knock him out. She saves him. But as she's saving him, she's giving him CPR, and she is literally throwing up every time that she's trying to give him CPR. It was hilarious. That was like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. But the next part, when I tell you that really threw me off and threw me for a loop, had to be the other part where it's like, bro, what the heck? She's feeding him food. She's feeding him these octopus. You know the blue ring octopus? If you don't know what the blue ring octopus is, you can go ahead and Google it. It has neurotoxin. So he's literally paralyzed. And she's like, oh, to wear off. Throughout this whole thing, Linda Little has been the most peak positive penny in the world. There was a little bit of trauma she went through. I'll let y'all watch the movie and figure that out. That kind of got her to where she is. But the craziest part is she doesn't attack people until they attack her. Well, there was that one time with his fiance, but that doesn't count. Like, you know, brought up on herself. They was on the island and so on and so forth. She did have this knife. And this knife that she had, she said it washed up on the shore. It ain't washed up on the shore, y'all. I'm going to wait until the end to tell y'all this. It did not wash up on the shore. So there's a part in the movie where she's like, do not go past here. There's toxic vines, blah, 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 blah. After the climax, they get to fighting. Oh, I'm sorry. The blue octopus. I ain't tell y'all about the blue octopus. The blue octopus, she act like she's going to cut off his gonads. Yeah, the things below, you know, the rooster, you know. Yeah, she act like she was going to cut that off, but she like just, you know, unalived a mouse, which was kind of, or it was not a mouse. She unalived a rat, which was like low-key super funny. When I tell you, when the climax happens, they are literally fighting. They're like pop, pop, pop. Some go in the eye. Somebody tried to da-da-da. And yeah. What happens is Dylan finds out that his fiance actually tried to save him. And how he finds out is she had an engagement ring. Well, Linda allowed the fiance and then the tour guide, the people that were supposed to save him, to fall off the island. She had saw this boat like a minute ago, but she was just like, no, I need to like stay here. We can just stay here. Yeah, that was kind of crazy a little bit, but he kept forgetting that she's Linda from strategic planning, not Linda from accounting. So she had a plan this whole time and she was strategic. That is why she had this job. That is why Linda Little came out on top. Well, you know, earlier in the video, I said something about a golf club. Yeah, she kind of like hits him with a golf club. How's their golf? Where'd the golf club come from? Yeah, there's a whole house. They're on a billionaire's island, and she figures it out because she's a scavenger. She's done everything. That's where the knife came from. There's a shotgun. He tries to shoot her. There's no bullets in the shotgun. When I tell you I am dying that all of this is happening, and then she unalives him and writes a book. And you see her swing a golf club, and that's it. So even though Linda Little isn't Rachel McAdams, we all have a little Regina George in us. This has been Duality for a review of Send Help. You guys have a great day. Bye.